The three-day World Economic Forum in Kigali, Rwanda commenced with a light shining on the much-talked-about phrase to describe the current state of the African continent. Is Africa rising or falling? Whereas there are strides made to the effect, some global leaders believe that the growth remains unfairly distributed among Africans.
There's huge opportunity to collect more resources if we look at the money that is flowing out untaxed. Africa is losing a lot of money untaxed. The figures are glaring. They are horrible to see. Through tax dodging, through harmful tax competition.
Income inequality, Byanyim's pet subject, according to her, is limiting Africa to how much Africans can maintain inclusive growth.
If you take a country like Equatorial Guinea has the same per capita income as Spain. It's as rich as Spain, but it has a child mortality rate as low as Burundi's. Shameful for us.
It is necessary for us to begin to look at what are the drivers of our growth. Is it the commodities? Is it the oil? Is it all these extractives that really do not create and leave and retain value in Africa, that do not retain jobs in Africa? Is that what is going to drive our growth? Or is it our infrastructural development? Is it our agriculture?
The focus should be on increasing living standards, improving living standards, and having growth serve the process of a steady and important rise in living standards.
The continent's 70% of the population is under the age of 30. The four-man panel who kick-started the World Economic Forum also spoke of the need for a tough approach to empower the masses. The other main barrier highlighted as a hiccup to the Africa Rising narrative has been the difficulties in the connectivity to African countries.
Our potential, our future resides in increasing the level of intra-Africa trade, because that really is where our opportunity exists. Trading amongst one another. And as governments, we need to start pulling down some of these barriers so that we can create and take advantage of economies of scale. Instead of talking about a Kenyan market of 40 million, we need to be talking about a regional market of 200 million.
That's right.
If you look at Africa, is a continent, I say, that is rooted in its past. If you look at the transportation infrastructure in Africa, these were designed and constructed decades or centuries ago. And the sole purpose for doing this when it was done was not to have intra-Africa goods transportation. It was to move goods from Africa to the ports.
Former Africa Development Bank President Donald Kaberuka, while speaking on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum, spoke of the need to focus more on knowledge-based economies.
So the more we can deal with the education of young people, that is creating an opportunity for them in the future. That is how you deal with inclusion.
This year's World Economic Forum is hinged on connecting Africa's resources through digital transformation. The debate on whether Africa is rising or is falling remains a huge point of contention and discussion amongst African leaders and global leaders. The problems are known, that there is a high unemployment rate, there is tax avoidance, there is income inequality, amongst others. How soon Africa decides to come out of that rubble and address these challenges remains indeed a matter of time. Chirandu Uchire at the World Economic Forum in Kigali, Rwanda.